to our tutorial on how to sew a quilt as you go inspirational mug mat. This is one of a couple different series of mug mats from June Tailor, and this is using a quilt as you go method. So this is so much fun. It's so quick and easy. We're going to sew through one of these mug mats today. When you buy the packaged batting, you will get a total of 7 printed statements and a couple different layouts. So we're going to sew through one that doesn't require any extra piecing. For this cat, Daily Muse. I'm Leah and we are at my sewing room. Today I'm going to be sewing on a Bernina 335. This is a pretty standard basic machine. You don't need a ton of bells and whistles to sew these quilt as you go mug mats. The couple things I think you will need to get started with, it does recommend starching your fabric ahead of time. We like to use Mary Ellen's Best Press, which comes in a couple different sizes. You're also going to want a walking foot for your machine. I would say a stiletto would be a lovely add-on tool to help you manage your binding at the end. And either a finger press or a roll-and press will be helpful to get you started. So those are some of the tools. I'm going to be using Isacord thread, which is a embroidery thread, but it's going to be just fine on this project. I'm just using white top and bottom. So starting with the directions, we've pre-cut the pieces for this particular mug mat. And I've got them all set aside in my baggie, ready to go. So the way we're going to start this project is by adhering our backing fabric to our batting. And the printed batting from June Tailor is absolutely brilliant to work with. All the pieces are labeled for us, so it's going to be really straightforward and easy to figure out what needs to go where. Essentially, we're going to center that batting on our backing fabric, and we're just about ready to go. We're going to grab a little bit of basting spray to hold that all in place. Basting spray ended up just outside the studio. What do you think? I like to use Odif's 505 temporary spray. I use it for a number of other things, but it works absolutely lovely for this as well. And I'm just going to spray my printed batting here, not my fabric. And this is just going to keep my project together as we get started, so we don't have any puckers or wrinkles or any of that good stuff. You're going to start with a backing that's a little bit bigger than what you need in the long run, and then center your mug mat right kind of the best you can in the middle. We'll trim it up afterwards to make sure we're happy with it. And then we're going to start with our piece 1. So in this particular mug mat, piece 1 is our cat. I think this printed sentiment it's just going to get held in place there as well. Just going to give it a little, hold my first piece down, spray as well. And the dotted line on that piece should line up right over the blue line underneath it. And then we'll come in and we'll start with piece 2. We're just going to overlap. And we'll be stitching down that seam line at the 1/4 inch mark. You might also be quite content sewing this if you have a 1/4 inch foot. I'm going to use the 1/4 inch marking on my walking foot, help manage the bulk here. So on my Bernina walking foot, start with our needle in center position. And we're just going to overlap this so that the triangle is equidistant from both sides. And on the foot, there's a small marking just inside the front of the toe there. That is our 1/4 inch mark for this foot. Work a whole lot better if I actually plug the foot pedal in. So all the way down at a 1/4 inch seam line. No need to back stitch because we're going to get this all covered up with more pieces later on. So we don't want to iron this batting right out of the gate. We'll wait to iron this project until it's fully assembled. But we do want to give this fabric a nice crease, so I'm going to use a finger press from Clover, which is going to allow me to just give that first fabric a lovely little press. And then we're going to come in and do the same thing on the next side to cover piece 3. This is getting stitched all the way through our batting. None of the dotted black line on that first bit is showing anymore.
Yeah.
You're using a machine with a thread cutter, you'd be welcome to use that thread cutter. Just using that finger press to press that seam open. Second round of fabrics. And we're going to line up along that seam line. Aim to cover piece 6.
No.
Just covered area 9. We've got all 8 of our triangles on this one. We'll line up this blue piece with the line just underneath the batting.
No. No.
For this piece, I've got my long piece lined up with the blue lines. A couple of my other pieces extend just beyond, but they'll be up underneath the seam lines. these pieces were longer, you could definitely get in there and pin them in place if you felt that was necessary.
enough,
Once our mug mat is all stitched down all the way around, we're going to go ahead and prep for our binding. So we are going to be using a 1-inch
enough,
self binding. I'm going to trim this an inch away from the edge of the batting
enough,
all the way around. Just a smidge because we got this pretty centered on our first pass.
enough,
Once you have this squared up an inch all the way around, we are going to reduce some of the bulk
enough,
in our seam allowances to make our mitered corners happy. And we're going to want to be a 1/4 inch from
enough,
the edge of our fabric, from the edge of our batting.
enough,
So a 1/4 inch from the edge of our batting, using that 45-degree line to line up along the side of our project. And we're just going to take off the bulk
enough,
through there. Many rulers have a 45-degree line on them. It's going to be your best friend on something like this.
enough,
When we've removed that bulk, we're going to go over to our ironing board. And on each of these 4 sides, we're going to press the seam allowance in on itself and fold it in half.
enough,
Once these are pressed, we're going to fold in that 45 ever so slightly. Give it a press.
enough,
This is just going to hide that raw edge when we go to do the next crease.
enough,
Fold that to the 1/2 inch mark, just back on itself.
enough,
And then we're going to come in and fold
enough,
those miters so they meet in the corners. Need to drop a clip on there to hold them while you carry on.
enough,
The self-binding is going to wrap up over the project here.
enough, enough, enough,
So we've pressed all 4 of those seams.
enough,
We've got mitered corners to go stitch down around the machine. So go back to the machine. Right now this machine is set to stop in the needle up position. I would like it to be stopping in the needle down position on a
enough,
3 series Bernina. We have press and tap the needle up down button. I'd also like a stiletto
enough,
because we are going to stitch just inside that binding.
enough,
We'll pivot at the corners and catch both sides. It doesn't really matter where you start. I'm going to start partway in because it'll just be easier to get moving. Stiletto is going to
enough,
help us hold everything in place when we get to that mitered corner.
enough,
Hold those miters together as we come up to the corner.
enough,
Get into the corner, we will pivot. Stayed in the down position,
enough,
and then we'll carry on down our next side.
enough, 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 enough,
Almost right back where we started. Just about done our mug mat.
enough,
Overlap a little bit. Reverse 1 or 2 stitches.
enough,
A few loose threads on the back. But there we have it. First mug mat, cat hair, don't care. Very much the story of my life at home. If you want to make more inspirational mug mats for yourself, there's the cat ones, the daily meows, and there's a set for dog lovers as well. Check in store if you want to see more content like this. Hit that like button, hit subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications so you know when we post a new video. Thank you so much for joining us for our June Tailor Quilt As You Go mug rug demo. Thank you so much. Bye.